If your videos seem to be stuck in that 200 view jail, I'm going to explain exactly why this is happening to you and what you need to do to fix it. I'm also going to explain when you need to just cut your losses and start a brand new account in order to get results. But before you start from scratch, I want you to test out the different fixes that I'm going to be sharing in this video. There's a good chance that you might be like my client Chris, who couldn't get more than 200 views until we started working together, and then got 18 million views on the very first video idea I gave him. But for that to happen for you, you're going to have to make some changes, because the reality is that if you're not getting the views, it means you're doing something wrong, just like Chris was. That doesn't mean that your content sucks. I've seen so many amazing videos that are stuck at 500 views, and I'm like, man, if this person could just make a couple of tweaks, they would absolutely blow up. It's usually just a simple mistake or a missing element that's preventing you from reaching a broader audience so that your amazing content can be seen by more people. But you're never going to be able to get those eyeballs on your content unless you understand how the algorithm works and the things that you need to do in order to make the algorithm work for you and show your content to more people. And the first thing that you need to know about the TikTok algorithm is that 99% of your content is going to the For You page, which means that it's not your followers that are going to see your content first, like what happens here on YouTube. It's probably going to be people that have never heard of you before and probably haven't seen your videos. So when you're planning your content, you need to keep that in mind, and you need to plan your videos in a way that's going to make them appealing even if they're being shown to complete strangers. Now, the fact that our content gets shown to complete strangers is one of the most powerful features about TikTok. It's what allows us to get discovered and to rapidly grow audiences on this app. And the great part about this is that once somebody watches one of your videos, the algorithm's going to recognize that they're interested, and they're going to start showing them all of your old content and your new content, so that way they can eventually become a follower, a lead, and maybe even a buyer. Now, the reason that it might feel like everyone is stuck at 200 views and TikTok is just cherry picking people to go viral while throttling your views actually has to do with how the algorithm pushes content out to new people. TikTok analyzes videos at different checkpoints to determine how many people are actually going to see it. So when you first post a video, TikTok's going to show it to only about 200 to 300 people on the For You page. Once that sample group of people has seen your video, the algorithm is going to decide whether or not to show your video to more people based on how it performs. That's why every time we post a video, you get a ton of views right out of the gate, and then they stop out of nowhere. And it can happen at 200 views, 500 views, 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000 views. It doesn't matter how many views you're getting, eventually they're going to die suddenly. The reason this happens is because if your video is performing well in that sample audience of 200 people, then TikTok is going to continue pushing it to more viewers. But then they're going to check the video again at like 1,000 viewers, and if it's still doing well, they'll keep pushing it. But if it's not, they're going to stop giving you views. And that's why you can see videos go massively viral very, very quickly. But it's even more common for your videos to plateau at like 200 views, 500 views, or even 1,000 views, because you haven't developed the skills yet to get past that checkpoint. And just because you have one video go viral doesn't mean that your next video can't get stuck at 200 or 300 views again, because all these videos are kind of judged independently of each other. The good news is that after you become a more consistent quality creator, your baseline views is going to increase. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you're getting 2,000 views on every single video no matter what, because that baseline's gone up. And I want to show you how to get there. That way you never have to deal with this 200 view problem ever again. Now, if you're not getting the views, it means that you're not getting enough watch time, because watch time is the #1 metric that determines whether your videos go viral or get stuck in 200 view jail. So if you're not getting the watch time and you're not getting the views, it means one of two things. Either #1, TikTok is showing your videos to the wrong people that aren't interested in your content, and since they're not interested in the video, they're not watching it very long, or maybe worse, they're swiping past the video. Or #2, there's just something about your content that's not quite good enough yet to engage your viewers and get them watching long enough to get the big watch time that you need to go viral or just get some decent views on your videos. So let's start with your videos not being shown to the right people by TikTok. There's a couple of reasons that this could be happening. The first reason is that you're just talking about way too many topics, so the algorithm doesn't really know what you're about and who it is that they're supposed to show your content to. And if you're an educational creator or a coach or an entrepreneur of some sort, especially if you have a bunch of skills or interests like me, this can be really challenging. I've been an online business owner for over 10 years now, and there are a lot of different things that I have the skills to be able to help other creators and entrepreneurs with. And when I first got started on TikTok, I was literally talking about all of them. I was talking about sales, mindset, copywriting, creating online courses, like all of the things. And that was honestly one of the biggest reasons that I couldn't get more than 500 views on any of my videos at first. And being fully transparent with you, I thought that the problem was that I was using the wrong hashtags, or that I wasn't posting at the right time, or one of a dozen other things that I found out really didn't matter that much. But the real problem was that I was just confusing the hell out of the algorithm because I was talking about way too many topics. So you might know about a lot of things and you might be interested in a lot of things, but if you decide to talk about all of the things, your videos aren't going to get seen by anyone. So what I want you to do is just narrow things down to one big topic. Some people would call this niching down, but what I really want you to focus on is just thinking of the number one thing that you can help people with and then make all of your videos about that topic. Get known for that first. Let the algorithm recognize you as a person that can educate people and help them solve a problem in a particular topic first before you expand. TikTok is actually going to give you the freedom to talk about multiple topics as you start to build a following of those repeat viewers. But it is so much easier to get traction early on if you just talk about one thing so the algorithm can categorize you and work for you to get more views. Now, at this point, you might be thinking like, okay, you know what? I don't have that problem. I am talking about one topic. I'm very specific with my niche and I'm still not getting the views. So the next thing you need to do is make sure that you're using all of the tools that you can to help the algorithm categorize you. There are a lot of tools that TikTok has given you to signal what your content is about so it can show your videos to the right people, and you need to take advantage of every single one of them. The first and easiest tool that you can use to help the algorithm figure out who to show your content to is your hashtags. You should be using a handful of hashtags that describe what the video is about and who your ideal viewer is. And since you're focusing on becoming known for one thing, every single one of your videos is going to be using these hashtags to send information to the algorithm. Hashtags are literally signals to TikTok that describe your video. So if you're using different hashtags in all of your videos, you're confusing the algorithm and you're not doing yourself any favors. And those big hashtags like hashtag FYP and hashtag viral, they do absolutely nothing for your account, so stop using them. The next thing you want to do is use keyword-rich language everywhere you possibly can. That means the text that you put on the screen, what you type in your descriptions, and the words that you're actually using in your videos. The words you say in your video are going to take care of themselves, but you do want to make sure that you're using those keywords inside of your description. You just want to make sure that you're doing it in like a natural language kind of way. You don't want to be keyword stuffing. That hasn't worked for anybody on any social media platform. But TikTok is going to be pulling all of this information from what you say and what you write in order to learn what your account's about, so take advantage of that. Another reason you might not be getting views is because you're only creating this very niche content that's relevant to just a small group of people. I see this especially with entrepreneurs and coaches. They have this tendency to only create educational content very early in their accounts, and they don't realize it ends up killing their views. But that content is usually not the thing that's going to get you exposure and attract new people to your account. I found that the best thing that you can do is create a mix where some of your videos are growth focused. They're about getting views and getting discovered. Then your other videos are your lead qualifying content that gives a ton of value to your repeat followers and eventually leads to sales. And if you want an in-depth guide on the types of videos you should be creating and how to build your content funnel, then you definitely want to go watch last week's video after this one. But for now, let's talk about those growth-focused videos that get massive views. The first thing you can do is start creating some shorter videos because it is a lot easier to get watch time and engagement. The content where you like throw up a random video from your camera roll and add a trending sound and put text on screen, those are your best friend. I know all the gurus are saying like TikTok is pushing 1-minute videos right now, but those videos still get massive views. And part of the reason is because fewer people are using those videos anymore, but there's still a big demand for this type of content. So it's an easy way to get a ton of views and get discovered by new people who are then going to go binge all of your longer videos. Now with your longer videos, you need to start thinking about how can you broaden your videos to make them appeal to a larger audience. This is such an overlooked part of going viral and getting massive views. The broader the topic is, the more viral potential it's going to have as long as that video is still interesting. So if you feel like your content or your niche is too specific, then try to broaden it a bit. Move up the market stages. For example, instead of always talking about email marketing, start talking about online business or digital marketing in general. And you might be thinking, why would I do that? But we're aiming to build a large audience and you don't want to put yourself in too small of a box. You can still talk about email marketing, but you're going to get way more followers and engagement by using email marketing to illustrate broader marketing concepts. Now, at this point, we've talked about getting your content seen by the right people, but that's just one part of the problem. The other part is that you're not getting enough watch time, and this is the most likely reason that you're getting stuck at 200 views. So once you've focused on just talking about one topic and you're using all of the tools to get categorized by the algorithm, you need to take some actions that are going to help you improve your watch time. The first thing you can do is create shorter content, which I talked about earlier. And if you're focused on making 1-minute videos so you can get paid by the TikTok Creator Program, you really have two options. The first one is that you can just realize that some videos can be shorter and can be used to attract a bunch of new people to your account that'll watch those 1-minute videos. Or the other is that you can start trying to create videos as close to the 1-minute mark as possible. I was actually talking to my client Bridget this week, and we noticed that all of her most successful videos were between 1 minute and 1 second and 1 minute and 8 seconds. Those were the videos where she could get the best play duration because she was able to get a massive amount of watch time, but a high percentage of people were still finishing her videos. Another thing you can do to improve your watch time is use better hooks. And I'm talking about both the verbal hooks that you use in your videos and the text that you put on the screen. After you come up with a video idea, the most important thing that you need to focus on is how to reduce the number of people that swipe off your video in the first 5 seconds. You have to give them a reason to stop scrolling and to keep watching your video. It's kind of like titles and thumbnails on YouTube where you're just trying to get somebody to click on the video. Except on TikTok, they're just scrolling and it that's fed to them automatically, so you have to get them to stop. And the only way you're gonna learn what a good hook is by watching other content that's performing well and is going viral and studying those videos. I saw the biggest jump in my videos when I started spending 10 to 15 minutes every single day just studying the videos in my feed and watching my competitors' videos that got the most views. It helped me to see patterns and to start figuring out what is working right now. I also started to notice how they were calling out the problems that our viewers were dealing with and creating curiosity that made people want to watch. If you can combine those two things, problems and curiosity, then you're going to get a lot of people to stop scrolling and your views are going to skyrocket. After you've learned how to get your viewers' attention, you need to learn how to keep it and improve your retention. And you don't have to do all the fancy editing and captions and changing things every 3 seconds in order to keep people's attention. You just need to make sure that you're giving a ton of value in your videos and that you're bringing your personality and all of your energy and passion to the video. People can feel your passion through the screen, and if they don't feel like you're being authentically yourself and that you're actually passionate about the content, they're just not gonna watch. Now, if you've watched this entire video to this point and you've implemented these strategies and you're still not getting the views, you might be thinking like, Mike, should I just start a brand new account? And yeah, you might want to do that. I know that me starting a new account had a big impact on my ability to start growing. Now, to be fair, in those early accounts I had, I was making all of the mistakes. I actually made a video recently where I talk about all of my biggest TikTok fails and the lessons that I learned from those experiences, so I would highly recommend checking that out after this video. I'll make sure we put it in the description so it's easy for you to find. But once I figured all that stuff out, I started a brand new account and I did everything right from the beginning. I implemented all of the strategies that I'm about to show you and I ended up growing really fast. I actually went from 0 to 10,000 followers and started getting course sales in under 60 days. But before you delete your account, especially if you already have followers, I recommend that you implement all of the strategies that we already talked about in this video for like a good 2 to 3 weeks to see if you can recover that account. And then if that doesn't work, throw it out, start fresh. I'm about to give you like a summary version of how to start a brand new account from scratch, but if you want like the detailed step-by-step version of how to grow a new TikTok account, then I want you to stick around to the end because I'm gonna have something for you. But here's an overview of the couple of things that you need to make sure that you're doing correctly right from the beginning. First, you need to fix your settings. There are certain settings that you need to have in place, like making sure that you have a personal account and not a business account. You also want to make sure that your content isn't going to be shared with your contacts or your Facebook friends or anything like that. Implementing these settings can have a big impact on your ability to get results and go viral because it forces the algorithm to figure out who your ideal audience is instead of just showing it to your friends and family. So if you start a new account, make sure you set up your settings correctly from the beginning. You also want to optimize your profile. Make sure that all of the text and all of the messaging on your profile and in your bio makes it really clear like what your account is about and who your videos are for. Not only is it going to help the algorithm categorize you, but it makes it so that when somebody sees your video and they click on your profile, they're going to go, oh, this is somebody that I want to follow. This is somebody that can actually help me. And then from there, it's all about your content. You need to be creating content. You need to be publishing a video every single day. You don't need to post 3 to 5 times a day, but you do need to show up and post at least once daily because TikTok favors creators that post consistently. Now, these are just the basics. So if you're starting a brand new account or you just want to grow your account faster, I want you to watch this video next. It's basically a free 30-minute course that teaches you everything you need to know in order to grow fast.